India wants to be recognized as a major power, but it also presents itself as a voice of the global south. Can India simultaneously pursue great power ambitions and claim to represent the interest of developing countries, or can those interests sometimes diverge?
Many countries in the global south were part of the non-aligned movement. But with the end of the Cold War, the disintegration of the former Soviet Union, and the current unstable global order that we see, the global south also does not speak in one voice. So they have different priorities, and they in turn have different dependencies. Now, there are a number of countries, say in Latin America and parts of Europe, which are more dependent perhaps on North America. Whereas in the global south in Africa, there are some countries that have a higher dependence on China. And similarly, when you look at Asia, there are some parts that have different levels of dependency, either on China or the United States. Therefore, India is not in a position to claim that it speaks for the global south because there is no single cluster or single voice. But yes, India has been able to raise issues in favor of the global south. I'm afraid there the answer is not a clear yes, because we saw this most recently in the war in West Asia, where you saw the kind of hardship that the global south had to face because of a rise in energy prices. Fertilizers being impacted, which in turn has an impact on food. The global south took a very severe beating because of developments in Hormuz and the US and Israel action and the war against Iran and so on. There again, I don't think India was able to make a difference because it was not a major actor in developments in West Asia. So there is an aspiration. In certain cases, India has been able to raise concerns, for instance, in the nuclear issue. If you recall the history of nuclear testing, it was India's voice, even though it was a much less enabled power in the 1960s, was able to urge the global community to move towards a partial test ban treaty. Otherwise, the major powers, the United States, former Soviet Union, were carrying out nuclear explosions in outer space, in the atmosphere. And that was causing enormous pollution and radiation. It was India that was able to encourage the major powers, along with other countries, to commit themselves to a partial test ban treaty that in certain areas at certain times, India has been able to articulate the concerns that impact the global south. But in recent decades, years, I think the world has become far more complex. So it has not been able to make that difference